Hello, says Laurel. And hi, how are you guys doing? You should say that first. Hope you're doing well. Today is Wednesday, the May 1st. May Day, right? Is that what it's called? Anyway, hopefully you're not, somebody's mowing their lawns. Hopefully I can hear it, so hopefully it's not coming across. Anyway, you're looking at this because it's pretty. Father Minion went to a function and they had flowers and he brought home flowers. Anyway, I have a craft fair this weekend, and I've been in amigurumi making mode because I don't normally do spring craft fairs, and this will be the third or fourth one I've done since I've been doing craft fairs. And I did this one last year as well. It was okay, but it's going to be 90% amigurumi, so I've been on an amigurumi. You can see some of that. Whirlwind, just making. And I don't have time to set up for a video, and I started putting things away and tagging and all that, and I'm like, oh, I haven't shown them yet, so this is what this is all about. So I'll move away from the flowers and show you. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm at my dining table, and I just bought this plant. See the that is back there. It's a candle. Anyway, I think it's called a snake plant, and I bought it online at easyplant.com. But the reason I got it, one, it's in my favorite color yellow pot, but it's a self-watering thing, and it's supposed to last a month, and it definitely didn't last a month. I think 2 weeks, and I need to refill, but it said don't refill until the soil is dry. So I think I'm almost there. But anyway, yeah, just thought I'd show that. I tend not to do inside plants because, one, I'll forget to water it, and two, if we go anywhere, it'll definitely die, but I'm hoping that'll solve it. And then I went on Amazon to see, because this was kind of pricey, to see if I can find a self-watering container, and this is not what I thought it was. That one, you can pour the water in the side. This one, I guess, catches the excess water, so there's nowhere for you to actually put water in, and I couldn't take the bottom off. It was too involved. But anyway, all this to say, I'm having some tea. It's a napkin from my lunch, and my laptop. Ooh, I bought a thermal printer, and I started printing out stuff. So that's a sticker with the dabbling hook, and then this one says dreaming of yarn. Aren't we all? Anyway, all this to say, let me show you some of the things. I have a bag over here that I had put stuff away I have to go back and get, and I have another small bin which I'll have to go get, but I have some here on the table that I was going to take photos, but it's such an overcast day, and we're cold again. It's so cold now. I mean, it's not freezing, but you know, for May 1st it's cold. But I had stuff on the table that I was going to take photos, and I haven't done it yet because I've been work busy. So I think it's like 4:30. So I decided to give myself a half-hour early day. So first thing I'm going to show you is by this channel I just came across, and I really like her vibe and the things that she makes. And she did a full tutorial on this dragon, and I cannot remember her name. Loops and Stitches. I'll put it on the screen, and the link will be down below. But I really like her stuff. It's simple, not too involved, and it's but I like them. So anyway, I did most of this last night and finished it, attached the wings this morning. I just picked up random color and I changed. I'll show you. This is the baby dragon. I don't remember her name, but again, the information will be down below once I post. But it's a baby dragon, and I used chenille home slim God, that yarn is such a disaster to sew with. It sheds. The way that Carpe yarn was shedding that bad batch, it's awful. This is a yarn that you have to use like a worsted weight with similar color to sew your things up. Highly recommend. I mean, the outcome is nice and squishy, but it's just, and you need a vacuum near you. If you use it a lot, I recommend getting like a hand vac or something, or a cordless vac to have near you, because it sheds like crazy. But anyway, the baby dragon, it's just, the body is, if you hear anything, it's, Minion 1 is home from school, and it's just going to be loud here for the next 3 months or so. The body is done in one piece. The ears are crocheted on, and I read, even though it was on screen, I read the ear pattern wrong the first time, so the second ear looks a little different, but gives it character. The horns are crocheted in. You do have to make the forelegs and the wings, and sew those on. And then the scaly bump, spiky part, the spikes on the tail, those are like crocheted on. You pick up and you crochet that on, and then you do the surface crochet here for that. So you do have to make pieces, but it's minimal enough. And when I started, I did the horns in this color, and I decided I didn't like it, and then I switched to gray for the other, the highlighted portions of it. But then the gray and the clay putty color it's very ho-hum. So I went back and added little touches since I switched from this to that, just to kind of tie it together. I just added that. But I am not happy with the color choice, and I'm definitely going to try it again. And I also am not happy with my sewing job. The legs are a little crooked. Yeah, this is me, still not used to holding a groggy style camera. But yeah, and I think I should have gone up a hook size for, I forget what hook size I used. I think I used a 4mm or 4.5. I don't remember. But I should have gone up a hook size. But all in all, I think it's cute. She does have a bigger dragon pattern. But this is the baby dragon, and like I said, there's a full tutorial with everything. She does a really good job showing everything. Like my legs, you can see I sewed them on. A little crooked, but again, character. I definitely could have done a better job on the wings, but all in all, I like it. So, link will be down below. So, that's the baby dragon. Before I made the dragon, I was making mushrooms. Does this look, okay, get your minds out of the gutter, even though mine's there. When I was making this, before I put on, okay, before I put on the cap, following this tutorial, she has this very, like, foresty vibe to her videos. You know, it's got that, like, glazy, not even glaze, like this muted, foggy vibe to her videos, but she did a tutorial for, I don't remember the name, it's just, I have a bunch of them saved, for a mushroom, because I was making mushrooms and I was doing the mushroom pops and the usual ones that we saw, that we see, and I wanted to do something a little different, and I came across hers, and I just liked the look of it, and apparently she has a pattern pack for different types of mushrooms that you can make. And hers was tiny because she made it out of, I think, either worsted weight or DK weight cotton, so it was really small. And of course, this one came out a little pointier because of the big yarn and the smaller hook. But when I was making it, and before I put the cap on, it definitely had a vibe to the look of it. So I'll just leave it to your imagination as to what it looked like. But apparently there are names to the, not apparently, but there are names to the different parts of the mushroom. This is called the stike, not the spike, something like that. It'll be in the video when I put the link. You'll be able to see it. This has a name, this part has a name, and even the cap has a name. And this is called a conical, like a cone, conical cap. And there are different ones, like the flatter ones and the different shapes. I'm really tempted, even though I'm trying really hard not to buy patterns, because I see something and I'm like, oh, that's cute, and I buy it, and then I don't have time to make it. I really need to stop, because I bought 3 or 4 patterns in the past week or so. I just don't have the time, but I get suckered. But anyway, I made this one. Obviously, hers wasn't in red. It was very muted colorway, like tans off whites, very foresty, forest floor color. That, you know, with the greens and the tans and stuff. That was her vibe, and I really liked the aesthetic. That's the word I was looking for. But anyway, this was a mushroom that had a. This is a separate piece that you make and then you sew on here, but it it definitely had a look to it. Use your imagination. But anyway, mushroom. So there's that, and I like the mushrooms in the non-traditional colors that we tend to see with the red cap and, you know, the white stem. I like that. I really like her aesthetic. And then, of course, did the mushroom pop. I think this one was cable and canvas, I believe. Is it? Let's see. Yeah, this one is cable and canvas. And then there are a bunch of people now that have the mushroom tutorials. And I can pretty, you know, once you've seen it once, you can pretty much, you know what you're doing, and you can, what's the word? You can kind of make modifications to suit yourself. So, green cap, and I had literally maybe like 12 inches of this turquoise color string left. I hate throwing things away, and I even made a big enough project where I could use the scraps. So they're just there. But anyway, this is the cable and canvas one, and I have a lot of small balls of yarn from other projects that I'm trying to use, and these, it works up well. This is the same person that does, that did the dragon. She also has a tutorial on the mushroom pop. Hers, she adds a couple extra rounds here, and I'm not sure if I like that version. It does, I think, make it the cap stand up a little more or be a little taller, but yeah. And like I said, I have small scrap balls, so I had this left, this much of this one left from something else, so I just put them together, and yeah. And this was another leftover scrap of yellow, so these are all scrap balls that I just used to make the little mushroom pops. Again, the same dragon person. She had a she has a stingray tutorial, and I want to make, and maybe I'll try to make it today, but I want to make the one by I think is it Teresa's Crochet Shop? I think. I don't know who it is. It's the one that has the, it's on YouTube. It's got the white belly, and it's made in 2 pieces, and you have to sew it together. Because I've done the one by Rose and Lily. I've done a couple of those last year, but I wanted to try hers out. This person, she used, I think it was the Dollar Tree yarn, or at least that size, to make it. She embroiders the eyes, and I don't know if I like that one, but I used Burnett, and I think this is one of the older ones, the sturdier ones. The newer ones are much softer now, as we all know, but I think it was just too thick for this project, and I think my hook was a little too small, but that was that, because hers looks much wider in this because of the yarn. I think looks longer than in her pattern, but I might give it another try in a in the chenille home slim to see how it works out, but the Bernat is blanket yarn. It's a little too thick, or at least my hook size was wrong. So there's that. The other thing, again, like I said, I really got into this person, into her videos and her channel. I think she has like less than 5,000 subscribers, but give her a look once I put it down below. Like I said, I really like her aesthetic. So she had a snake on there, and of course there are tons of snakes all over to patterns for that, and it's really simple. I just watched it, I followed hers. Oops, it's me not paying attention. Again, the Dollar Tree just chenille, I had like less than half a skein, and I decided to just use it up because I have a bag I've been carrying around with small balls of all these small balls of yarn, trying to use it up. So I just decided to make it. I think I pretty much followed her pattern. Did I? I may have deviated a little at the end, but yeah, I made a snake. And in real life, never in a million years would I touch. Whenever I see a real snake, I legit have nightmares. Like for a day or two, I wake up with nightmares because of snakes. It's just not my thing. I try every once in a while. I try to make myself look at one. It just doesn't work. But a yarn snake, I guess I can do. There are some people who make them that look way too realistic, and I don't think I could go there. But I'm hoping this will appeal to the boys out there, or the girls who like snakes. I just finished another one in blue that I'll show you in a second, but that's that. So that's 3 by this person. Actually no, 4. 4 things by this person. And then, I've been meaning to try, oh, I got some fluff sticking out. Joe of Joe's Web. Your good name, Josephine, right? That's your full name? Hey, Joe. I've been meaning to try her Leggy Froggy. And I had a bigger small ball of yarn from leftover from a project that you'll see in a minute, and I decided to use it to try her her Leggy Froggy, her Leggy Froggy 2.0, I believe. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I made that. Finally gave it a try. And I think in the video she said she likes the curly, and I agree. I like when the legs curl and it does whatever it wants to do, or the arms, instead of just hanging straight. So, all right, let me go get the other items, because I need to tag these too. And actually, I need to take pictures of all these first. The others, I've already taken pictures. I just need to tag them. I mentioned I just finished another snake. Doo-doo. Now this one, I just did my own thing. Again, these, once you've made them once, they're pretty simple, and you can... Who was that? I wonder if that came through. Mr. Loud. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I still have the stitch marker, like I literally just finished, but yep. This was another partial skein that I had that I'm trying to use up, so it's not as, let's see. No, it's definitely not as long as that one. I started with a different number. I started with a different number, and it's a little bigger. So yeah, the pink is just a tad longer. So there. All right, that's snake. The other thing, I've been meaning to make a squid, and I started doing my own thing, and then I'm like, you know what, let me find a tutorial to see if I was on the right track. So I showed the Joe's Web Leggy Froggy 2.0 in the yellow. So this is what I made out of almost, was it, I think, not almost a full skein. I made something else out of this skein. This was part of yarn that was swapped with me again. But I followed this tutorial again. I don't remember who. I've just been working and watching videos, so it'll be down below. But I made the squid. Again, because of the hook and yarn combo, it made it a little conical shaped. So this is a little pointier than the tutorial. And you know, when you use these yarns, they tend to get that point when you start with a small number. But I made this one, and it definitely feels firmly stuffed. I think it's partly the yarn. Again, this is the older blanket yarn, so it's a little sturdier. But so I followed the pattern. In the tutorial, she only did was it 5 or 6 tentacles, and then I looked up, I'm like, how many tentacles do squids have? So they do have the 2 long ones that hangs, and then they actually have 8 tentacles according to Google, the one link I clicked on. So her tutorial had, I think, 5 or 6. I think it was 6 she did, but I did mine. I made 8. She also finished with 18 stitches, left it open, and then she did the tentacles individually. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. She did these individually too, and then she made a base. And did she crochet them on or tie them on? I don't remember. She either crocheted or tied them to the base, and she did the same to this. Yes, she tied them on, and then she crocheted the base to the open 18 stitches, and she made the base obviously 18 stitches wide so they would match. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not about all that sewing, so I went down to 16 stitches here, and I went back and attached the yarn the way I do my octo. I attach the yarn, and I hate making these tentacles, these long tentacles, but I guess there's no getting around it for the squid. But I attached the yarn and crocheted them on, and then I did the same for this long one. I attached it and made the chain, and then crocheted back, slip stitched over, and then did both of them. So there was no sewing at all. It was all crocheted on. So when she's got, or it's got, like gold sparkly eyes. And my eyes, I think maybe once or twice, and maybe the last year, I've added on eyes without glue. So a kid will have to be very determined, and of course they are, but to get these off, because it's got Gorilla Glue behind the front piece, so it's going nowhere. I used to do Gorilla Glue on the back piece too, but that got pretty messy, and by the time I was done, my hands were just all glued up. So there's Gorilla Glue on the back of the front piece, and then it sticks to there, and I attach the back. So yeah, so that's part of the tutorial. And then I wanted to do my own, so this is me winging it. And I can't remember, did I sew these on, or did I? Nope, I went back, attached yarn, and crocheted these closed, and I think I added a couple extra stitches because it wasn't as wide as I wanted. But yep, I made my own. Oh, this was one skein of the Bernat baby blanket, the small skeins, and I literally had maybe 4 inches, 5 inches of yarn left. I'm like, oh, it only takes 1 skein. Then I forgot I had to do the 2 long pieces, and I was out. So I think if I had made this maybe a little, if I had made this a row or 2 smaller, I may have been able to get away with it, but I had to break into some white blanket yarn, and this one is a softer one too, to add this, so I think it worked out. So this is my take. I don't remember if I took notes. I hope I did. I've been jotting down notes just so I remember what I'm doing. Because as much as I tell myself I'll remember, just like with the hooks, as much as you tell yourself you'll remember when you put a project down what hook you were using, by the time you pick it up again, yeah, no. So, and this is just black eyes. I was going to put the blue sparkly eyes, but I figured I'd just go black. But I like that one. I like the squattiness of it. This one came out a little longer. I think it's a little longer than the pattern called for, but part of that is because of the yarn. But when I did look up the squids, the top does tend to be a little pointier, per the pictures I saw anyway. All right, now I have this bin of stuff. Let's see what I can get through. I made, ooh, I also left some other stuff over there too. Huh, I'll have to go get, there's more. I've been on a little, I hope some of this sells, but if it doesn't, I will be well ahead for the fall if it doesn't sell. So, I have been meaning to make these, these being, these, I think they're called booty frogs, because, you know, it's got a booty. It's really quick to work up. I made 3. These two are swap yarns. Again, you know who you are. I'm using up, I think I have one more ball in the box, but I did have 2 of them that I'm working on right now. But this is from an Instagram free pattern that I've had saved for a bit, and I finally get around to it. This is Chenille Home Slim in like some foresty green color. But yeah, booty. This one does have the blue sparkly eyes. This is what I was going to put on the squid, but I went with that instead. And again, they all have Gorilla Glue behind it. And then the bigger blanket yarn came out bigger, and then of course the Chenille Home Slim is really tiny. And this, I think, is the last of eyes I bought of, I think I bought it off Temu. And it has kind of like a starburst pattern. It does not have glitter, that glitter thing behind it, but that starburst pattern kind of makes it like it does. But this is the last of them. I think I used it on something else that I will show, but I don't remember which one. So yeah, booty frogs. Finally got around to them. Really quick to work up, and literally it's a cinch to do this, but I've been in frog mode too. Speaking of, there's this. Oh, there's another one I'm missing. I know I did 3. Let's see if I can find it. I knew I did 3. Ooh, battery's flashing. All right, this is another Instagram free pattern that I've had saved, and I forget what the name of it is, but it's just, what is it called? Chonky Frog, I think. I made this because I bought, this was clearance at Michael's. Is it chenille? Whatever it is, it was like a really thick, I think it's number 7 yarn. And I bought, I think the last 3 or 4 that they had. This was like months ago, and I'm finally using it. So I had this. I was using it in something else. I ran out, so I finished it off with that. So this is like a creamsicle, peachy orange color, and then this raspberry color. Chenille Home Slim and the brunette. That one, I know I was off by a stitch, and it resulted in the legs being a little off skew, but again, gives it character. So that's those. And I'm going to change my battery, and I will be back. Okay. Another make. Baby mallards. Another thing I've been meaning to make. It's amazing how distracted I get, or I think we all get, when we see other things out there and we just jump into it, or at least I do. you know, barring being work busy, I start making stuff and I'm like, oh, I want to make this. I have so many things saved that I never get to. But anyway, mallards. I did buy a pattern that has 2 different mallards in there that I need to make, but it won't be for this go around. But I figured I can whip up the baby mallards, and that's why this frog came to be, with at least in this color, because I bought these colors to make the baby mallard, and when I went to get the green, they didn't have any of these, so I ended up buying these. So, and then I went back, and of course they had that, so I was able to get that. But baby mallards, another Instagram freebie. The one on Instagram is really small. I think they made it out of probably the Dollar Tree chenille, Premier Just Chenille, but this is the chenille Home Slim, I think. But yeah, and because I had the 2 greens, I made them into greens. Oh, and I also, at the time, they only had this dark brown, so I bought the dark green, dark brown to make these, and never got around to it until now. So I made the dark brown and the dark green, the dark brown and the light green, and then is this the terracotta? I don't remember what color. Toffee, terracotta, caramel, whatever color it is, with the dark green and the light green. So baby mallards, I think it's like twice the size that it's shown in the Instagram post, but I have a couple of different mallard patterns saved, freebies, but the one I did was the baby mallard. So link will be down below. All right, so the table is like ready to overflow. Next, turtles. I was gonna say I think I showed these, but I don't think I have. And if I did, then you will have seen it in a previous video I am editing right now, which is why my computer's right there, but haven't finished to post yet. But I did make others, so maybe that's what I showed. Anyway, I showed this frog that I did in this and ran out and finished it in the raspberry. Well, I also used it in mushrooms, and then these turtles. There is no pattern for this. I just winged it. Bobbles. Again, I mentioned once you've made the turtles, you kind of get the idea, and if you're experienced enough or adventurous beginner enough, you can whip up your own whatever. So yeah, I did it with the shell in the raspberry-ish color with the peachy orange color, and then I did the opposite. So yeah, this is completely no-sew, except when we're done, I tack the head so it's it doesn't loll front as much, that it's more looking up. If not, it would be like flat down. So these two, and because this is like, I think it's a number 7, I'm pretty sure. So it's a pretty good size, fits in the arm, opposed to chenille Home Slim, that's like this size. So yep, so I just made some, and I have scrap balls of these after finishing other projects, so I am just another good use for the small balls of yarn. So yeah, all no-sew except for tacking. So we have these two, and then you can see scrap. I am trying my hardest to use up all the balls, but I still just keep, the more I use, the more I end up with. But as you can see, I had this this light antique pink color and ran out and did it in the rest of the pink with the green body, and I tried embroidering the eyes, which I'm not too mad at, but from that channel that made the dragon, she has a tutorial as well on embroidering the eyes, and I like the way she does hers, so I'm going to try to give it a little white highlight that way. So turtles. Next, I think in my previous video, yeah, I showed some Triceratops, so I made one more. Again, using up the rest of the yarn. This was part of one of the Bernat blanket cakes that has the multiple colors. Did I take it apart? I think I took it apart because I needed the different colors in it, but out of this gray color, I made the Triceratops, and in his pattern, he's done 2 videos on the Triceratops. The first one, it's the regular one with the spikes, and then he has an alternative to do the frill this way. So, and for the horns, he does 2 chains and then 1 single crochet into it, or 3 chains and then then you have to tie it on. Again, me, lazy, I'm like, no. So I just took some yarn and I whip stitched, or yeah, I just created the horns just by whip stitching it on, because I am that lazy and I don't want to chain 2 and make 1 single crochet, cut off a long tail and then tie it on, blah blah blah. Nope, just rather do it all afterwards. So 1 Triceratops, so that's 3 in total because I made 2 others. Another Instagram pattern that I saved. That's the other thing, I'm doing the make 9 to try to at least make patterns that I purchased or have been in my to-do list. The same with the Instagram patterns that I saved for a while, and just trying to get them done. So I made I made 2 elephants, even though, again, I bought patterns that included elephants, which I haven't gotten to yet, but 2, and I think I'm going to need to move some of this out of the way. My table is so full, you should see it. Alright, so we have 2 elephants, and again, using up that yarn that I swapped. This is a swap that's purchased from Michael's. So this is the Bernat blanket, and I think I used the same, I don't remember if I used the same size hook, but this is all a no-sew bobbles, and the ears you pick up stitches and crochet the ears on. So literally no sewing, quick and easy. So 2 elephants, and then I mentioned mushrooms. Mushrooms were very popular last year. I hope that's the case. I did a night shopping event. It was literally like 3 hours, and people were way into the mushrooms, especially when they don't know that it's the mushroom pops. So I already showed 2 of the pops, but again, this yarn, I started because I've had it there not knowing what to do with such a big yarn, so I decided to do, let's see if I can pop mushroom pops. So I did 2 the opposites. So that's those 2. They're pretty good size. You can see my hand, and I've got man hands, so it's a pretty good size with the big yarn. Those are the 2 mushroom pops, along with the 2 mini ones that I've already shown. And then the, what is this, the Chunky Boy pattern that I did. This was, somebody has a mini version on Instagram, and I was trying to use up, I think, a little bit of leftover yarn for this one, because I had 2 of the green and one of them I had finished and I had a little bit left, so I did a little version. I still need to put a little mouth on him because he looks like pretty pissed off right now. So that's the mini version, but this is, I think, the original Chunky Boy pattern, or somebody's version, because I think the original is on Ribbler, and I don't know if it's the same person, but yeah, that's this one. I don't usually put in the cheek color, but I figured I'd give it a go. So yeah, that one I think is cute. And this one I ran out of the variegated, so and you can't really tell so much, but the last round is all in white. Oops, it's all in white. Anybody else's table look like this? This is from the Minions. This is where homework was done, and this was like their preferred spot. And everything was done here. They used to do YouTube videos and sit here, so it's just well worn, well used. And I thought about having it refinished, but then every time I do, I just think of them sitting here doing all their everything. So it's gonna be like that. So yeah, mushy boys. Wow, I think I'm ready, don't you think? I think I'm covered for this craft fair. I really hope it goes well. All right, I have this yarn. I bought a this is Bernat blanket in like the jumbo skein that they have. I don't know if they still make it, but this one was on clearance. It was either a Bernat or it was Loops and Threads. I don't remember. I do remember being at Joann's and seeing it on clearance for like, I think it was like $15. I think it was a double size. And typically I wouldn't just right off the bat buy this colorway, but the clearance ticket, of course, got me. So I still have quite a bit of it left to use. I may make some of these, but I don't have white in the same weight as the blanket yarn. We'll see. But anyway, I just made a Leggy Froggy. And this is the Rhonda Butler tutorial. I wanted to see if it was that much different than the original Not Jaded Co. pattern that I bought. And hers is, I think she does this a little different. She starts off with a different count and then she closes the bottom a little differently, but yeah, they're all pretty much similar. I like the arms longer. That's one thing I would change. I don't mind her pattern, but I would change the arms because I like to, when I sit them at the craft fair, I like to fold the arms. Gives it a better look. So, ooh, the eyes I was saying I got off Temu that has like that starburst effect. This was the other one, so I had 2 left, and those were the 2 that I used. All gone. I've made one of these ages ago. Totoro. And this was a YouTube tutorial. Thought it was written, but a YouTube tutorial. Never even realized it had a leaf on its head until this this tutorial. I had to go look it up to make sure. But yeah. Color change all in one. I've seen them where a patch was made and put on there. I think if you did the patch, it would be a little more even looking, but I brave the color changes. I hate doing that, but yeah, it's all pretty much no-sew. I can't remember. I think she made these and tied them on. I think I picked up stitches and just made a chain and then crocheted back down and slip stitched. And this was the only thing you had to make and then sew on. Other than that, again, the bobble arms. But yeah, I may do that again. But I've always wanted to make another one, and I finally got around to making the other one. So that's the one. We'll see if people are interested in it. I may brave. Ooh, and it's sitting flat because one of the things with the toys, they tend to wobble. So I did my trick that I had mentioned with the chicken, where I put a long piece of yarn and then I cinch it, not too bad, and tie it and hide the tail in there, and you get a more stable and sturdy base for it to sit on, where it won't wobble away. Alright, ooh, I think I'm almost done. I have a bag I need to open to see if there's anything in there that I didn't show before, but the other thing that was really popular last year were they all have character because they're all lopsided. There you go. Possums. Now, the first time I did it, I followed a tutorial, and I didn't like the changing of the yarn to make the bobbles. It's me and my tension. I always mess it up. So I make the whole thing, and then I go back and pick up stitches, and I do the ears. I do make the front legs. I make bigger than the back legs to make it to try to make it not topple over frontwards. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This one, I don't know what happened. He's very lopsided. Very lopsided. And again, with the person who did the dragon, I hate starting with the small amount of stitches, like the ones that start with 4. The way I do mine, I start with 6. But when I was watching, she did a tutorial, and hers is basically very similar to the way I do mine. But she does the whole thing in white, and then she goes back and whip stitches the pink on here, and I'm like, oh, why didn't I think of that? That's like so much easier than trying to mess with the small stitches. So that's what I'll be doing from now on. The whole face is started with white, and then you just whip stitch the pink on. Yeah, they don't always have to be the same, and I like that idea very much. But yeah, I will keep doing it the way I do mine. So they were last year with the craft fairs where I started bringing them, I had at least 3, and they always sold. So that shopping night I did last year, I think it was in November, I had 3, and this woman came up and she had 2 of them in her hand while she was looking around my booth. She had the 2 in her arms, like those were hers. So I figured I will make some more and hope they sell. So let me see what's in this bag to see if I missed anything, and I think I will be all caught up for now. Yep. Okay. There was quite a bit in there that I don't think I've shown you guys, but if I have, then just bear with me and you're going to see it again. Let's see. Very lopsided axolotls, and I'm hoping that, no one will notice when they buy it. It gives a character. I got to keep that in mind. But these are off of another Instagram free tutorial or free pattern that Bernat Blanket, and these are all in the chenille Home Slim. I don't know how many I have left from my last craft fair last year, so I needed to have some at least. So these are baby ones, same number of stitches, but of course you can see the Bernat yarn comes out way bigger. I don't know if you can see the difference here, but it is way bigger. So yeah, those are 3 baby axolotls, and then I have one big one that is from a YouTube tutorial, and I definitely, wow, I think I may need to actually take the frills off this one and do it again, because it is really lopsided. Or the eyes are. Wow. Yeah, I may have to do something with that one. And I don't think I have any purple left. We'll see, but that's a big one. So it's one of those. And I have been meaning to make cows. I haven't made a cow in quite a while. So, of course, I think I made, wow, 6 cows, 3 different patterns. So that's these 2, that's these 2, no, that one, that's these 2, and that's these 2. All right, this is a hot mess, but let's see if I can show them properly. So this is, I should have tag this in Instagram as one of my make nines, but I was just making cows and using my pattern. So this is a Etsy pattern. I think it is, what's her name? It's I don't know her real name, but it's Toy Story Pattern AU is who this is from. It's like a big bobbly round cow. So there's this one, again in that swapped yarn. So there's one in yellow and then one in this color. And you've seen this color in quite a few things, and you'll see it again because I had one skein of that, or was it two? I think it was one. And then I made this cow, which was this a purchase pattern? Yes, this is Madeline Made Co. pattern. Yep, that's the Madeline Made Co. So there's this one, and then this one. This, is it the yellow? I think the yellow and gray were part of a skein, the cake with the multicolor. And, I'm trying to remember. The gray definitely was. The pink is a different skein. I think I was running out of pink, which is why the arm is in this color. I don't remember what I was doing, but I know I was using up scraps of some. But this is the Madeline Made Co. And this is not no-sew. You do sew them in, not as you go. This calls to sew them on, but the arms I crocheted in, and then you do have to sew in the, I can't remember if I think I sewed the ears. You make it ahead of time, and I think I crocheted the ears in, so then I ended up sewing the muzzle and the horns on only. Yeah, but it does call for you to sew all the bits on, but just the muzzle and the horns I sewed on. So yeah, again, this particular blanket yarn was very, very thick and sturdy, and we've gotten so used to the softer chenille and the new Bernat blanket that it's almost like a revelation when I feel the older ones. But so yeah, so that's 4. And then this is a free Instagram pattern, and she has a tutorial. I don't think it's a full tutorial, and it's towards the end of the day, so you're getting that sunset glare. Even though it's been overcast, this is the first time we're seeing any signs of sun today. But this is a no-sew. Even the muzzle is a color change, and then then it's shaped by pulling in the eyes, and down here it's shaped. So it's completely no-sew, I believe. Yep, completely no-sew. These are sewed in as you go, or crocheted in as you go. So yeah, I like this one, and it sits pretty nicely too, even though I did do that trick of cinching in the bottom to make sure it really stays. But I like the fact that you don't have to sew in the muzzle. So there's that one, and again, swapped yarns. She really sent me a whole lot of yarn. This is from scraps, my scrap bin I pulled in just to give it that punch of color. And then this one, I forgot to do the little pulling in the base trick. So this is what I mean when it wobbles, where this one is just sitting, and then without that little thing, it flops over. So I need to do that. But this was the first one I did, and I didn't know what color to put with this. I had the purple, but I didn't want to double the purple. I wanted something to stand out more, and I didn't think it would. So I mixed it with these two are both the Dollar Tree yarn, doubled. Yep. And my first time, the horns are more symmetrical, and this one, it definitely is not the first time I did it. So yeah, I need to go fix that. I need to put that there so I don't forget. So So yeah, I'm up to 6 cows. I do want to make more, but I definitely won't have time before Friday. So, given that, or I wouldn't have time before Saturday, given that Saturday is May 4th, may the 4th be with you, I'm like, ooh, it hit me. I'm like, oh, it would be nice to have something Star Warsy or at least alien-like. And I saw this cute pattern of a alien with the horns, and there are plenty of those, but the one I saw was really cute, and I haven't been able to find the pattern. But I did look up, and I do have, this is another Instagram free pattern that it definitely, I didn't have the right colors. Again, this is when I couldn't find the lighter green, so I had these colors. So I made him in this. Obviously, I sewed the ears on wrong. One's sticking up, one's not. But I made him in brown, and that's the tag. It's a quick enough pattern. The only thing I don't like is this, the way they had you do this and the number of chains you had to do. It doesn't equal the number of loops that you skipped. So I tried accounting for it, too late, and it kind of flared. So you won't really notice it because it's in the back. But that's the only thing I would do this differently. This is a separate piece that you make and then you crochet it on as you go. And this is really long. I even took some out and it was still long. So yeah, I think it's called Baby Alien is what this one's called. So yeah, I was hoping to make another one of these with the lighter green, but I haven't had a chance yet. And so I found another pattern by, I don't remember, but this one is a YouTube tutorial. And even though I did my little trick at the base, it's top heavy. Someone said it looks like a cactus, and it does. So it tends to topple over because it's top heavy, but, and the ears are curling in. Let me put it this way. So I made it in I guess the traditional colors. So this is Baby Yoda. This one's called YouTube tutorial. This one was done in a, I think it's DK or even thinner yarn, and it was a keychain tutorial. I just basically did it in chenille, so it came big. And I just wanted a girly one, so I did a girly one with the little bow. So yeah. So I'm gonna see if I can cinch this up a little more so it's a little more stable. But again, it's top heavy, so it's gonna tend to flip over. But she's doing much better than he is. You touch him and he falls over. She's good. So maybe I need to cinch him a little more. So I think that's it. I don't think I've shown, no, I know I've shown all the other things in my bag. And this one, I think I showed, wait a minute, I have 2 more, or a few more. I lied. Pretty sure I showed this, but this is called a sad hamster, and it was just a keychain. Didn't know this was a thing, and after I made it, all of a sudden I'm seeing sad hamster, everybody showing sad hamster. So I just made one. Another Instagram freebie were dinos, all no-sew. So I think I have a couple of the mini T-Rex ones from leftover, so we'll see. I haven't checked even though this thing is in a couple of days, I haven't even checked my stash yet. I have a couple of dinos. And last but not least, I think I showed these, but if I didn't, I'd mention I did a gray one, and these were the other 2, what do you call it? Triceratops by Crochet Club. No. Club Crochet. Yep. I did a thicker, I used a Bernat blanket here, so it made this thicker, And this was the same, oops, this was the same Dollar Tree yarn, so it's not as prominent, but the Bernat one does stick out more. And this one I embroidered the eyes. And this is what I mean by, let's see, this is his typical horn, and this is the alternative frill. So yeah, now that's all. You gonna say hello?
Hello. Hello.
All right, this is my mess that I need to go tag, and I think that's it.